This video is sponsored by War Thunder. Skyrim might just be the most modded game of all time. Thousands of mods have been developed for this game in the past 13 years, and they've been downloaded by millions of players. These mods range from small quality of life improvements to full-scale conversions that could honestly be full games. Skyrim modding even has its own Wikipedia page, for Christ's sake. The issue is that this could all be really confusing for new players. Like, look at this. What the fuck is this? That's why I decided to compile a list of some great Skyrim mods that'll fit any player's playstyle. This list is in no particular order, and all these mods will be in the description below, so let's get into the list. But first, I once again would like to talk about today's sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the world's largest military combat simulator. Take control of over 2,500 planes, tanks, helicopters, and ships in legendary battles ranging from pre-World War II to the combat of today. Become fully immersed in combat with realistic graphics and chilling sound design. Pair this with the highly detailed vehicles, and you have one of the most immersive games on the market. My favorite aspect of the game without a doubt is aerial combat. There just isn't anything else like it out there. Play War Thunder today for free on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and join the over 70 million players in epic large-scale warfare. The best part? If you use my link in the description below, new and returning players that haven't played in 6 months will receive a massive bonus pack, which includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium. This offer is only available for a limited time though, so act fast and download War Thunder today. Skyrim is broken. It's seemingly common knowledge nowadays, but I want to stress just how broken and buggy this game can be. That's why for the first mod on the list, we're going with the unofficial Skyrim patch. This fixes hundreds of bugs that are present in base game. All fixes are linked down below, but if you want to read it all, buckle up. Yep, still going. Bit more, and done. This mod might be the only essential mod for Skyrim. It's that important. If you want to spend any amount of time in Skyrim at all, even if it's your first playthrough, please download the unofficial patch. Our next mod is Sky UI. Sky UI completely overhauls the game's UI, making it more comfortable and easy to navigate. Much like the unofficial patch, this is one that never leaves my mod folder. Now this will ultimately come down to personal preference. You might prefer the OG UI, and even though you're wrong, go for it. For everyone else though, Sky UI is your perfect option. Skyrim was one of the best looking games on the market when it came out back in 2011. And even over a decade later, it still holds up pretty well. However, there are a few areas graphically that could really be improved to fit today's standards. One of my favorite mods that makes Skyrim just a little bit more pretty is Vivid Weather's Definitive Edition. This mod offers over 500 new weather effects, ranging from harsh blizzards to raging thunderstorms. We also get brand new sound effects and textures to go along with it. This makes the game look absolutely beautiful. It gives us E&B style visuals without having to deal with the nightmare known as E&Bs.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
If you want to play Skyrim looking better than it ever has before, use Vivid Weathers. I'm a simple man. I like barbecue and vanilla ice cream. And you know what else? A good cloak. That's why I use our next mod, Cloaks of Skyrim. This mod adds almost 100 unique cloaks to the game for both the player and NPCs to use. The quality of these cloaks are unmatched. They come in all shapes and sizes, and they can even be enchanted. If you're running mods like Frostfall, or even playing on base game survival mode, cloaks also keep you warm. The warmth they provide changes from cloak to cloak, depending on the material. The mod also adds cloaks to NPCs. Most notably, guards will now wear a cloak representing their hold. Cloaks of Skyrim just adds some much needed variety to the attire of the game, and it makes for some much needed immersion. Now that we have a cloak, we need some good armor to go along with it. Immersive armor adds 55 new armor sets, 400 new shields, and a variety of other cosmetic additions to the game. This is one of the most popular Skyrim mods of all time, and that's for good reason. To start, let's take a look at the armor. There is a huge variety of new sets added. These include paladin armor, hunter armor, and so many more. They all look great too. More importantly maybe, is the fact that they're all relatively lore friendly. It never takes you out of the experience seeing one of these. If anything, it can sometimes add to it. This mod also adds a frankly stupid amount of shields. I'm not really a big shield guy, but even I have to admit we have a great variety here. Lastly, we have some miscellaneous cosmetics added into the game. Eye patches, piercings, scarves, that kind of stuff. Basically everything to make you look cool as fuck, and I'm down for that. At the end of the day, Skyrim is a role-playing game, so who could turn down even more options to customize and play how you want? We have immersive armor already, so we might as well get immersive weapons too. Much like its armor counterpart, immersive weapons adds over 200 new weapons to Skyrim. Claymores, longswords, spears, halberds, double axes. It's enough to make any chivalry fan foam at the mouth. These weapons are cool. I don't know what else you want me to say. They're pretty lore friendly too. Base game Skyrim doesn't have a small weapon pool by any means, but this really just fleshes it out even more. You haven't played this game until you beat a rat to death with a huge stick. I don't care what anyone says, this is how our Lord intended us to play the game. Let's talk about every Elder Scrolls fan's favorite thing: race relations. There are multiple races in Skyrim, some better than others. In the sense that, no. You know what I mean? Diverse Skyrim is a mod that makes the game a little bit more diverse, but it does it in a really cool way. Everything is 100% lore accurate, so you won't find any races anywhere they wouldn't canonically be. For example, you're not going to find a Dark Elf in the Stormcloaks, or Khajiits in the Legion. It also changes up the loadouts for town guards. This is a small change, but it really adds to the immersion, making them feel less like faceless nobodies and more like conscripted guards. It makes the game feel a little more like a living, breathing world, and I'll take a mod like that any day. Skyrim's intro sucks. Gun to my head, I could almost recite this opening word for word, so I'd be happy to never see it again. Alternate Start, Live Another Life does this and so much more. Instead of waking up in a carriage bound for Helgen, you instead wake up in a dark cell. All we have to do is walk up to the statue of Mara and select your starting location. You can be a homeowner, a guild member, a victim of a shipwreck, the list goes on and on. All of these starts also grant you some unique starting equipment. If you need to replay the classic intro every now and then, you still have that choice too. This is perfect for the Skyrim player who wants to experience the game a little bit differently. I'm a big fan of video games, but I only have one true love in life: city infrastructure. JK Skyrim completely overhauls the cities of the game, and it's enough to make a grown man cry. These cities are just so beautiful. These changes, while not the biggest, make the cities feel so much more lived in. Let's take Riverwood, a village I'm sure everyone is familiar with. It might not seem too different from base game here, but it's the little details that add the most. If we take a closer look, we can now see the way the loggers move these heavy logs from the river up to the land. We can find makeshift archery targets, presumably set up by Fandel so he can practice while he has downtime at work. It even fleshes out some of the smaller cities in the game, like Dawnstar and Winterhold. Details like this are sprinkled all over Skyrim thanks to this mod. The creator of this mod, JK, is one of my favorite mod authors of Skyrim. All of his mods are highly detailed and great, so honestly I'd recommend giving them all a download. Oh, and it also adds a smelter to the Skyforge, so yeah, 10 out of 10, best Skyrim mod ever, essential for every playthrough. For our last mod on the list, we're gonna go with something a little special. There are some players out there that might not like all the mods I just showcased, because they don't fit the game. They feel out of place or even distracting to some. To a certain degree, they're completely right. All those mods were never intended to be in the final cut of Skyrim, so they really don't belong. However, Cutting Room Floor is a perfect mod for players like this. Skyrim had a lot of content that was unfortunately cut before release, but Cutting Room Floor seeks out to restore much of this content. In a way, this is Skyrim the way it was meant to be played. Cut NPCs, dialogue, items, locations, and quests are now brought back. Now, much like the previous mod, a lot of these changes are pretty subtle. It's really interesting to look at this cut content and wonder just why didn't it make release. Regardless, it's here now, so you might as well play the way Todd intended us to do. Those are just a few of my favorite mods for Skyrim. Now, I obviously had to leave so many out, so if I missed your favorite, be sure to tell me in the comments and I might add it in part 2. And once again, thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Use my link in the pinned comment below to play War Thunder today for free on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Act quickly though, because these special bonuses won't last for very long. If you liked the video, liking and subscribing helps me out a lot. I post videos just like this a couple times a month, so be sure to turn on the bell so you don't miss any.